Shalom, everybody. It's the Hebrew Homestead update. And it's the Hebrew that's homesteading. Waleed. Hey, check it out. I'm cleaning out my coops. Deep litter bedding. If you try this, you really don't have to clean out your coops. So far, it's been my experience. Twice, maybe 3 times a year, I'm cleaning mine out for the winter. You know it's time to clean them out, or at least add to your bedding, because you'll smell a little ammonia smell. Um, Definitely time to clean them out when it kind of starts to smell like ammonia slash poopy, chicken poopy smell, like a shitty ammonia smell. Which, adding to it don't make it go away. It's time to clean them out. If you smell it, it's time to do something. But this is the deep litter bedding. This is um, this is my second. No, this is my third wheelbarrow of compost material. This is good, rich compost, all from the bottom of chicken coop. You're gonna add do 4 to 6 inches of hay, and it's supposed to help keep disease down, and it gives you some of the best compost. When I clean out, I'm finna clean out all my coops. I'm finna clean out the quail coop. This is just the front chicken coop. That one back there is the back chicken coop. That's separated from the front. I'm gonna clean them out. But just from this one coop, it's like what, 10 by 3 or 4. I'm gonna get probably 4 wheelbarrows of this good stuff. And it's not fully, the bottom of it's probably good to put in the soil, but I'm gonna mix it with my current compost piles and let it break down. Probably another month or two. I'm gonna start turning piles. That's what I do in the wintertime. Turn piles on the fall. And some really good stuff in the spring. So I just got 4 wheelbarrows of this. All my coops combined, basically I got 1, 2, I count this as 2 because I got them separated. 3, I got 5 coops. 6 if you count the separated one. I'll take you back here to my compost piles. So when I do this, I read up on it a little bit, heard about it, I tried it. As I clean out the coop every 2 weeks, it's crazy. Man, unless you got one coop, you ain't got nothing else to do. So this is adding on. The top part is a lot of straw because I just put straw in there a few weeks ago. But that's when I know it's time, because putting the straw in don't help. It's just time to clean the coops. And the smell lets you know. Your nose knows. If you smell something, you got to do something. So the first 2 piles was a lot of straw, especially the first pile. The second pile was some dirt. You see that? I'm adding this so I'm going to add all this to my compost piles. I'm going to take this is left over from last year. I'm going to take this one and this one, and I'm going to move them all to one big pile. I got a designated spot. And then I'm going to add leaves to it. I'm going to have it like a humongous pile of compost, which is technically last year, this bed where that papaya tree is growing, you probably can't see it, but this was really like a big pile of compost stacked up as high as those targets, which is like 4 or 5 feet tall and probably 6 feet long, 4 feet wide. It was a big pile. And after I turned that a few times and let it broke down, I knocked it down and literally made this bed that's sitting here where that ginger is growing. That's a little patch of ginger. This is a volunteer papaya tree. These fig trees right here, I wish I could show you. These fig trees come off the fig trees in the front, and they are growing bigger and better than the fig trees that they came from. And also I got in here, the blueberry bushes are in here. They're dormant. they're dormant for the season right now, but hopefully they'll come back. I planted blueberry bushes, ginger. There was some other stuff in here, and that's a volunteer. And look at it, that thing's like 8 feet tall. And who knows? I don't think they'll make it through the season. But the point is, what I'm showing you is there's eggs from today. That's a turkey egg. Oops, I hope I didn't crack that. No, and I gotta clean these. And by the way, somebody asked me how the turkey eggs taste. They taste good. They taste a little, I would say they taste a little fattier than the chicken eggs, if that's a good way to explain it. So, what I'm trying to tell you in this video is maybe 2 to 3 times a year. I'd say 3 would be nice, or at least clean them out seasonally. But 2, 3 times a year, 3 would probably be nice. 4 might be a little too much. Oh my God, the chicken got out right in my garden. And yeah, run them back in. Hey, go back in the coop. You, go in the coop. In the coop, I'm gonna grab you. In the coop. Not in there. Here we go, the chicken chase thing. But I don't want to pause my video. So you do the bed and you clean it out every couple times a year, and you get this super compost. Hey, also on the update, look at that. That buckwheat's coming up just in a week. Look at that. That's great. That's my so-called cover crop for over here. Chase the chickens back in the coop. If they'll go back in. They're not. They don't want to go back in. Let's see. Yeah, they're going back in. There we go. And it stinks pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie to you. But once I get this out of here, this is the last pile right here. That's composted chicken manure with like the grass clippings and hay straw. The hay was $7 a bale. It went up to like $9 a bale. So grass clippings and whatever veggies I feed them, mixed with their manure and them scratching. They're having a good time in here eating all these big grubs that's coming up. They've had at least 5 or 6 grubs each. I probably don't even need to feed them after what they've been eating, but I'm gonna feed them anyway. But yeah, you can see that. I wish you could see their stomachs full. You see it. Look on the left side. If you look on the left side of her breast, you see it's kind of, see that hanging? That's her stomach, right there. That's her stomach, and it's full. Look at that. See that? That's her stomach, and it's kind of sticking out. They've been eating all these bugs, and they still killing it. They don't care. They feasting. You see that little pouch hanging out? That's her stomach, and they're full. That's how you know she's been eating good. I used to wonder what that was until I slaughtered a few birds and realized their stomachs sit on the right side of their chest. What you think is their chest? That's their tummy, and or they call it the crop. Now you can see it right there. They're sticking out. They're good and full. They've been eating the hell out of these bugs, and they're still looking because it's fresh ground. They love it. So this method is supposed to be more healthier and is less work for you. And clean out chicken coop every 2 weeks is I've done it. It's a lot. You think feeding chickens every morning is a lot? Try cleaning out their coops every 2 weeks. It's more natural to let it build up. You get this compost. You can take this. You gotta be careful with this shit, literally. But you can take this and sprinkle it or mix it in your stuff. But it's really strong. It's high in nitrogen. So I'm gonna let it break down another half a season, and yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna clean out the rest of this, and I'm gonna take this shovel And I'm gonna break down probably like you go down like this, probably like what's that, 2 4 inches. I'm gonna break this all up to give them something more. They're gonna work deeper into this because this coop's gonna be here for a while. So they basically this is gonna be some of the best. We call it black gold best compost for my next garden next spring. I might add a little bit of it in between these cabbages to feed them, but just a little bit. And you don't want to put this on the plants. This is strong stuff. Some of this in here, if you walk over it, you can still smell it. It is manure. It's kind of got a pneumonia mix with it, like a shitty smell. So I'm gonna compost it, and you don't want to put this stuff straight in your garden while it's still breaking down. That's what some people you see they sticking their hands in there. I'm not sticking my hands in there because that's still composting. You can smell it. When compost is all the way composted, you won't have no smell. Hey, yeah, I'm out here with no shirt on, so I'm trying to cover up for the camera. Go back. So he's hungry and pissed off because he's held captive while I clean up things because he's crazy. I can't let him out. He's gonna fight. So he's always locked up when I'm doing something. I hadn't had to get rid of him. Most people will kill a rooster like that, but I like him. I like how he is. He's a good gardener. I try to feed him, but he just tried to bite me. It's a grub. He might have ate the grub. I don't know. But they are good and fat. Look at that stomach hanging. So that's my deep bedding. If you look back here where the other rooster is, I got to go in there and clean that out. So I'm gonna put them up in their coop. And you see where he is. I'm gonna make him go up there, and the rest of it with the girls. And I'm gonna clean all this out, dig that up. When I'm done and get down to the hard ground, I'm gonna go down 6 inches, kind of scratch it up. I'm not gonna put the hay down right away. I'm gonna let them scratch at the ground and dig up. Eat all the bugs that they want. There's this part of their food. Um, when they when I used to let them out, this kind of like free ranging for them. But when they get to range like this, they don't need that much feed, which is great. But since I had the dog attack, they can't range like that no more. If I want to keep my chickens, I'm not gonna be out here guarding chickens all goddamn day. So this there form of ranging. So I'm gonna leave this ground exposed probably for like a couple of days, and then I'm gonna slowly add the hay, and it's gonna build it up. Like I'll add like it'll be like 4 inches, but I'm gonna let them scratch at this because there's a lot in here for them to eat, and it needs to be worked by them. So I'm gonna let them scratch at this for a few days, and then I'm gonna release the hay. But for now, I'm just cleaning it out. That's my process. That's how I do it. I'm gonna break up this dirt after I get all of this, the rest of this manure out of here, and it's really like black gold. It's just if it's got a smell, I mean, follow your nose. You don't be sticking your hands through it. Like you said, people run their hands through compost. That's because it's a finished product. This is not yet a finished product. That's why I'm bringing it to the compost pile and let it finish decomposing for the rest of the fall. So in the winter, come the spring, with all of these, I'm going to pile all of these coops, beddings into one big pile. It's going to be a nice big pile. And we'll also add, I got leaves from down the block. I'm going to add those. And that's going to be a really nice, I want to say it's going to be at least, I'm hoping I get it like 2 to 3 cubic yards of compost. And just if you get like a yard of compost, I think I talked about this before, it's going to decompose on its own. Like this pile might struggle, but you add this pile to that pile and you put them together. I'm not saying you don't have to turn it, but you do have to turn it, and that is a workout. It's a lot of work. Wish I had a tractor that could just turn it with a bucket. That would be cool. One day. But you turn it maybe once a week, every few days, and The volume is going to create the microorganism. All you need is a little bit of starter, and this is already started. Like this is already breaking down. Like I can add this to anything, including you. I mean, you can damn near put a dead chicken in there. It's gonna break it down. But the volume is gonna create the microbes, and the earth stuff is gonna come up out of the earth into it, and that's when you start dealing with your worm beddings and all that stuff. You have worms in there, and it's worm castings mixed in there with it. So it all works together as long as you got it on ground, on actual dirt. It works better. I'm probably take some of these weeds, chop these up, and add them to that, and I'm gonna have an amazing pile of. Thank you, sir. An amazing pile of compost for the winter, over the winter for this spring, and that's my mission for today. Is get that started. Get all these cleaned out and have a big pile. That's it. I think I'm repeating myself like I normally do. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. But that's the update. That's it, man. Um, I gotta get back to work. Only got probably an hour of sunlight left, but that's it. Yeah, deep bedding. Look it up, research it. If you got some chickens, this is the best way I've found. If it lessens your workload and the reward. When people was asking me, why are you getting chickens when I wasn't eating meat? I wasn't eating meat when I came down here. I eat a little bit now. But it's like, you don't even eat meat. What are you getting chickens for? Oh, I was eating eggs. I never stopped eating eggs. And they help create what I need down here, which is compost. They'll make your garden. If you know how to work with the chickens, they'll make your garden, and you got patience. They'll make it's part of having a wonderful garden. Is chickens. Chickens and gardens always go together. They also work as a good wintertime cleanup crew. If you can contain them, like I let them out on that bed when you till up a bed. If you got some kind of way to contain them, like fencing, or if you get free to let them range or they protected, you can bring them out and let them pick through your tilled garden for a day. They'll clean it up, eat up a lot of pests, and of course they poop, which is more fertilizer. And you can let them come out over the winter. At least give them a week. I just let them out for a day, but give them a week, and they'll help you with your gardening. I let them over this, and they didn't do much, but they did get to eat a little bit of bugs. They do help with pest control. So, with their compost, if you know anything about chicken manure or compost, it is some high nitrogen, heavy, rich. It's some good compost. I mean, most animals' compost is pretty good, but chicken manure really helps a lot. Some strong stuff, man. Strong shit. And it's some good shit, literally. That's it. That's the update. Deep bedding. Check it out. Try it. This is my second year doing it. My last winter I had compost piles. That is why I could turn this front yard into growing the stuff that grew in here. This stuff grew amazing considering that this was all hard, compacted. Probably had this much soil with like clay. That was it. And I grew a garden here. This is how. This and the other stuff I compost, like the leaves and my grass clippings and wood chips. I got a little chipper. I don't get a lot of chips from my chipper because if you can get a tree company to drop off chips, they can drop me off one pile and ain't nobody drop me off nothing since. Maybe they hate, I don't know. But I get a little chips from the tree cuttings I do. It's a lot of work working that little chipper, but I do it. And between the leaves, wood chips, the hay and the straw glass cuttings from my own grass cutting, and weed pulling, I make some pretty tremendous compost piles. And that's how I've been getting my gardens, other than tilling. I mean, you can till in clay, but you still need the compost in the clay. It helps. So that's it. I got to do that one. The quail house is a little bed, and under there I move the house and dig up their stuff, and they get fresh litter. They kind of like a medium deep litter, so I do them more than once. I do them more than once, twice a year. I definitely do them 3 to 4 times a year. You know by the smell. If you got a smell, you got time you to clean up. And don't wait, to have the smell for 2, 3 months. I think I've smelled this probably for a week, so I've cleaned up. I think I told you I planted millet back here and buckwheat up here in front, and the buckwheat is coming up. So I won't let the chickens out. They'll eat these sprouts. That's my buckwheat, and I'm sure it's buckwheat because some of them still got the tip on it, like that right there. That's the buckwheat seed on top of that little plant right there. See that? That's the buckwheat seed. And yeah, I know that's the buckwheat that sprouted. See that? That's the buckwheat. Yeah, it's grain. That's what it looks like. So I know that this buckwheat is sprouting. Right now, it's my favorite staple grain for the homestead. I think I'm gonna use buckwheat a lot because it's easy to work with. It grows pretty fast. It's a strong little critter, and you can make flour with it, and you can feed it to your chickens. They'll eat buckwheat. So I can eat it. Yeah, buckwheat pancakes and bread. And chickens eat buckwheat. So when I get a big space, I'm gonna definitely cultivate a big thing of buckwheat. And these guys are still eating up the world with these bugs. It's great. And today is feast day. She full. She like I done ate all the damn grubs and bugs that I didn't need. So now I'm gonna finish putting this in the wheelbarrow, sitting in the back pile, and making one big pile, let them decompose. Bring their water back. Bring their add these bricks. They kind of made a nest. I'm put the bricks back where they was so they can feel like their nest is still there. I'm put a little hay in the nest spot, and I'm gonna cut 2 to 4 inches with that shovel all across here so they have something that they're gonna scratch and dig it up more and eat more bugs. So there'll be less flies and bugs around here. They eat them up by their larvae. And then probably I'm gonna let them do that for like next 2, 3 days, or maybe even a week. But then I got 3 bales of hay. After they've been exposed to the ground for like 5 days to a week, I'll put some hay down and start building back up the deep bedding and start all over again. And yep, that's it, man. It's been working for me. I like it. Deep bedding is the way to go, man. Try it if you got chickens. Urban Farm Sister, check it out. My man in California, I can't remember his name, but you know who you is. You got some chickens. I don't know if you're doing deep bedding. All right, everybody. Shalom. All the farming people, the homestead people, the Hebrew homesteaders. Y'all be easy. I'm out.